Let's hope this works. Hello. Hoping the connection is good. Mic is on. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Been reading your comments in the chat. Good morning. Okay, good. I think we're good. I think we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our last day of our World Watercolor Month challenge, practice, fun times. I don't know. I'm really tired. The rain has been getting me I don't know. I feel so exhausted. The rain's not helping, but we're going to have fun. So today I'm going to be answering your questions and your struggles that maybe you've had during the challenge. I did take to Instagram and Facebook for some, suggestions on what you guys wanted to, discuss, work on. So I'll be doing a couple demonstrations. If you can't hear me, make sure that your sound is up. I'm pretty sure others can hear. My mic is on. But yeah, so we'll be talking a little bit about the struggles you guys might have been having. The one thing I do want to say is if you're struggling with a certain technique, you just need to practice. Honestly, I feel like I can arm you with all the information I can, but the only way it will really click and you'll get better is just by doing it more and more and more and more and more. Because no matter what I say, our environments are different, our supplies are different, our skills are different. It's going to vary from person to person. So don't think that you don't have it in you. It's just something you have to practice. It took me a very long time. I look back at some of my work from the beginning and, it wasn't great, but I painted every day, not necessarily with the intention of I need to get better. I did it because I loved it and I enjoyed it. And I think my biggest piece of advice is to just enjoy the process, enjoy each painting. You're not going to like each painting you do. I still hate a lot of things that I do. But you just have to kind of find that one little thing and just enjoy what you're doing. You should be able to find some sort of joy and relaxation in it. It's not necessarily about the outcome every time. So continue doing it because you love it and you'll just naturally get better. Okay. I am going to try so hard to talk to you, demonstrate, and read comments and questions. It's going to be a struggle, but I'm going to try my best. Okay, because there's lots of comments coming in. But thank you guys all so much for being here. I'm so glad that there's been such positive feedback from this challenge. These videos are going to remain up forever. So if you are behind, you're not behind. Do this at your own pace. Yes, everything was kind of scheduled out for day-to-day basis, but that does not mean you have to follow it on a specific day at a specific time. Do it when you have time. If you have not had the time at all to do the July challenge, start it in August, start it in September, start it next year. Honestly, they're going to be available for forever. So just do it when you have the chance and then do it multiple times. If there's one day of techniques that you really enjoyed, then do that multiple times. So I know some people aren't always into the floral bits, and that's totally fine. The reason why I included so many florals into this challenge is because that's what I paint. That is what I started out painting. That is my forte. The landscape stuff is something I have been working on over a few years, but it's not my comfort zone. It's not my specialty as much as I'd say flowers are. So that's why I focus so much on flowers. That's just who I am. But I did really enjoy the landscape stuff too. So work on what you enjoy, watch it multiple times, get me more views, and enjoy. So I'm just going to read some of the comments. I plan to redo the whole month, hoping my results get better. It will. It's just time. And there's not a specific time frame that it will get better in. It just, the more you do it, the better you get. I'd love to see how to do more animals, such as birds and wildlife. So animals is definitely not my forte. I have gotten better at them over the years, but that is probably my least, maybe buildings are my least most comfortable comfort zone thing. I'm not great at architecture. Animals is something I've been practicing over the years, but when I first started, I hated it because I sucked at it, and I just kind of came to the conclusion that that's not my thing. But I've just practiced over time and it's getting better. But I don't know if, like, I do have some animal tutorials on my channel, but not a whole lot. How do you slow down? I keep hearing work fast and I struggle to take my time. It just practice. Just, I don't know, force yourself. If you need to slow down, just, I don't know, put on some calming music and just force yourself to just kind of relax. It depends also on what you're painting, because if you want, like, you know, color bleeds and all that stuff, you kind of have to work fast. Or if you need the paper to be wet, you have to work fast. So find a technique or a painting that requires to be slower and then try that. Okay. So many comments. Water control, we're going to touch on, because that was the number one thing people were saying that they were struggling with this challenge. And that is everybody's struggle when they're new to painting with watercolors. So I am going to do some kind of refreshers and some demonstrations on how to help with that. Can you recommend a good intermediate paper somewhere between student grade and something like Arches? I would say Academy watercolor paper is the best. Let me see. Ooh, I only have a large block of it right now. This one. Academy watercolor paper, or it goes by the name Baohong, which is down here. Ooh. Hold on. Baohong. Also depends on where you are located. The price will vary, but this is, I feel like, the best paper for the price. They come in blocks and I absolutely love it. So Academy watercolor paper. I actually use it way more than Arches because it's way more affordable. I feel like I'm missing so many comments. Yes, water control for sure. I'm struggling with leaves. They're often small. I'm not sure how to make them look as natural. Also, in the description of this video, if you look at the description, I have created a little, not playlist, but I have recommended videos in the description of this video, of other videos of mine that you should watch. So beginner watercolor drills that go through how to load your brush, floral drills, leaf drills, like wet on wet drills. So there's like a whole beginner watercolors drills playlist that you can go and look at. There's the ultimate guide to water control, 3 watercolor mistakes, how to fix them, how to master blending, importance of value, mixing muddy colors. And then the whole playlist from July is also on there too. So I have tons and tons of extra content that you should definitely check out in the description. And also, if you're ever like, I have people say, can you do a video on trees? Can you do a video on this? Most likely I already have. So what you're going to do is, if you want to know if I have painted a specific, you know, subject, what you're going to do is you're going to go into YouTube, into the search bar, into YouTube, and you're going to write Emma Lefebvre trees, Emma Lefebvre animals, Emma Lefebvre water control, and any video that I have done with those keywords will pop up. So before you ask if I've done this, this, and this, take a minute to search on YouTube, because most likely I have done it. I have about over 1,000 videos at least. So make sure to check it out, because I've most likely done it. And there's lots more in-depth videos. Okay. All right. Not so long ago, I started with Crayola paint to see if this is something I wanted to pursue. I started with like really like dollar store paints, like really, really crappy paints. And I just loved it. Even though it didn't look the best, I loved it. If the advertisements are Oh, Meaden makes Academy watercolor paper now too. Yes, the other paper that's really good is Meaden, Meeden. Look that up. That's really good. Okay. I think I'm gonna do a couple demonstrations. Okay. So I think I'm gonna flip you guys around. I gotta zoom in so you don't see how messy my desk is. Okay. And I'm going to address a couple things that people were asking about in my posts. So I'm just going to flip you guys around. Can you explain your group Patreon? Patreon is a website where you can subscribe to extra content. So on my Patreon, it's like another platform. It's $3 Canadian a month for the lowest tier. And with that, you get all my videos ad free. You get 3 bonus tutorials that are not available to the public a month. And then you can backlog everything else. You get tracing pages if it requires any sketching. And then just like community chats and stuff like that. So it's great. And that is also in the description, my Patreon link, if you are interested. Okay. I see your video about painting things I'm scared to try. Animals. Yes. That is one of the playlists there too. Yeah, there are 3 different levels of Patreon. The other ones, the next tier up, you get a live stream with all that. The next tier up, there's like challenges and like a behind the scenes vlog that I do. Yeah. Spain trip info, please. Spain is already sold out. And there's one more spot left for Greece in May. Okay, I'm going to flip this around. And I'm going to do some demonstrations for you guys. Okay, so we have our trusty palette that we've been using all month. I'm just going to turn my lights on a little bit brighter for you. There we go. More blending demo. Okay, I'll keep that in mind too. My lives for Patreon are usually the last Sunday of every month, unless I have other engagements that I need to do or it's a holiday, but usually the last Sunday of every month. Okay, so here's our tulip page. Let's do some here. Okay. So the biggest struggle that I have seen people talk about is water control. And they either have too much paint on their brush or too little. And I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible, because really once you get the hang of it, it is pretty simple. So everything is dry right now. I'm going to start by wetting my brush up really, really nice. My paint is dry, bone dry. Okay. If I don't see you guys or your comments, just, I'll have to try and go back to them. It's so hard to try and do both. Okay. So your paints are dry. The one thing you want to do before you start painting is activate your paints. You can use a little spray bottle, or you can just dip your brush in and add some water. You kind of want a puddle in your paints. Okay. And you want them to start activating, and that's by adding water. If I go straight in with just my wet brush and I just start picking it up like this, it's going to be on the drier side. Okay. You need to wet them and then even just like start swishing them around, let them activate. Okay. There is a puddle in my paint. I don't know if you can see that. Where is it? This one. There is a puddle. Okay. Now, you can go right onto your paper, but because there's a puddle and my brush is fairly wet, it's going to be pretty wet. And how you know something is too wet is that when you lay it down, if you're to tilt it to the side a bit, there's like a bit of a pool. You can see like a line of a pool here. Now, if you have too much water on your brush, that's okay, or too much water on your paper. All you have to do is tap your brush on your paper towel and then just go back in and soak some of that color up. Tap it on your paper towel, soak some of it up. So when people say, I struggle because I have too much water, It's okay if you have too much water, just soak it up. Just tap your brush on your paper towel and soak it up. And now there's no pool. What I would suggest after creating your puddle in your color, I would bring it over to your mixing well just to see what the value is. You can see it's pretty dark, right? So that's going to kind of give you an idea whether you need, if you want a lighter wash, do you need to add more water? If it's not dark enough, do you need to add more paint? That's going to help you to kind of gauge what you need to do next. This is pretty dark, so I know this is pretty dark. If I wanted to make it lighter, I'm going to wash off my brush and I'm just going to add water. And you can kind of see the transparency in our little mixing well here, and it gives you a better idea of how light or dark the color is. Now there's still a puddle here. That's not a problem. Just tap your brush on your paper towel and lift some of it up. And there you go. Okay, so too much water shouldn't be a problem. Look at your page. If there's a puddle, tap your brush, lift it up. Okay, if it's too dry, add more water. The other thing that or a lot of people were mentioning was that their colors were not as vibrant. And that could be a big one. It could be two things. It could be that your paints are not great quality, or it could be that you're not giving them enough time to activate. So if I have my wet brush and I go right into my paint like this, I mean, I just swished it for a second and then started painting. There's kind of like a medium value, but if I added a bit more water, added my puddle, left it to activate, and then really kind of picked up the color, look how much darker it is. You got to give it time to activate. And if it's still like, if you've added so much color or so much water and given it time to activate and it's still not doing it, it could be your quality of paint. Okay. I'm going to show you an example. Like here is some like literal dollar store paints. These are crap, absolute garbage. Is this the way you open it? I think so. Yes. Okay. Dollar store paints. You can even see they're kind of like chalky. Okay. So if I go right into my paint and I start painting, there's like no pigment, right? Barely any pigment. Now, if I activate it, so I'm just gonna let it stay wet for a second, and then I'll try again. It probably still won't be very pigmented because the quality of the paint. Okay, let me just look at a couple comments. If my kids weren't home today, I'd have my husband read out the comments, but I have both kids downstairs today. Do you use masking fluid for any of your paintings? Yes, I do. And actually I have a video that's going to come out in August all about masking fluid. I don't remember what the date. It's probably towards the end of the month though. Do you have another alternative for a journal that is cold pressed? 140 pounds. Etcher is a really good brand. I love Etcher. I'm giving this enough time to activate and I'll show you it's still crap. These are Etcher sketchbooks, the little llama. Does it have? Let me see. These ones. Etcher. These are really good ones. They are on the pricier side, but they're great quality. This is just a bunch of random play stuff that I was just doing in here. But yeah, these are great quality. If you want, sorry, if you want something a little bit less expensive, Light Wish is a really great option too. Okay, let's see how much this activated these crappy paints. Okay, I'm still like trying to swish it around. And it's a lot more pigmented, but it still won't be as pigmented as, say, a good quality. Okay, so if you're not picking up enough color, if it's just really, really, really light, it could be your quality or you're just not giving enough time to activate. Okay. I've tried a cloth instead of paper towel before. Usually like when I go out, like if I'm painting outside, like a washcloth, that can work. But I don't know. I find it's easier to lift color with a paper towel. Okay, I purchased my Etch a Sketch book a month ago and I'm afraid to use it. Don't be! I also have Etch a Sketch books that I've created with them too that I'm going to be using for workshops soon as well, which I love. Unfortunately, I can't sell them because shipping is absolutely bananas, but for like in-person stuff, I'm going to have my own line as well. Yeah, bow hung paper or Academy or a Meeden blocks are really good for sketchbooks. Light Wish, I feel like is the most affordable that I have found. But I do love Etcher. Okay, so now we kind of know a little bit more about water control. If it's too wet, it's like, question for you guys. People who are saying that their flowers or whatever are too wet, are you realizing that after the fact, once it's dried and you're like, oh, I had too much water? Or are you noticing that, like I'm trying to put a lot of water here. Are you noticing that in the moment? Because like this is too much water. Okay. You can see how it's running like that? That's too much water. But it doesn't mean that my painting's ruined. Like I said, dry your brush off on your paper towel. Mop it up. Dry, mop it up. That's all you have to do. Like it's not lost. And if you really, like if your paint is too dry, let's try. Usually if it's too dry, that just means you have a lot of pigment on it. Just tap your brush in your water. Like when you're dipping your brush in your water, don't dip it all the way in and grab a ton of water like this. When I go back in, I just take a little bit on the tip of my brush and I'll add it. You don't need to dip your whole brush in. That creates too much water, which again, I have too much water. Just tap it on your paper towel, mop it up, move it around. Okay. And water control is something that you'll just also get over time. But if you're unsure, just look and see, is it pooling? Is it moving? That'll be too much water. Then clean it up, okay? I'm just trying to read more. You seem to get your paintbrush clean. I sometimes think mine is then I change color. So my, like when I'm cleaning my brush, I usually tap it against the bottom of the jar. Rinse it off like this. Okay. I don't just like clean the bristles off. Like I'll rub it against the bottom of the jar and then just tap it on your paper towel to see if there's any excess color. Okay. I think my problem is being afraid of having too much water, so I don't have enough. Then everything is super pigmented, and then my palette ends up being full of water because I have to keep diluting. So then use more water. If anything, I would say use more water than not enough, because you can mop it up. When you go in, when it's too pigmented, if you start off too dark, you won't be able to build on that and layer and build up those shadows and values if you start off too dark. Always start lighter. Start with more water, okay? How can I remove paint out of a pan? I want to transfer my round palette. I don't know. Dig it out. And I don't know. Depends. Is it in a pan? I don't know. Emma, do you have water to drink or tea on hand? Do we need to ask Matt to bring you some? He has 2 crazy kids downstairs. I'm not going to bug him. Although I was thinking, I'm like, I need water, but it's fine. I'm good. Blending is my problem. I have lines that show, like when I'm doing the sky. Okay, I'll get onto that too. Okay, so yeah, blending, because someone else, and then a curled leaf. Okay, so curled leaves, I feel I've done a video on that as well. If you look up like bent leaves, I have a whole video on that. If you write your question in the caps, yes, in caps, then I might be able to see it. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good idea, Sketches. Thank you for being here. Okay, so blending. Blending, I'm trying to think of the easiest way. So you want to make sure that your paper's wet. So there is a way to do it where you start off with a dry paper And then you kind of lay down your color and you move it down, rinse it off, tap it on your paper towel a bit, and then move it down to get like a lighter value, right? And you keep doing that. I find, like, I've done that a million times, so I find that I can get that done pretty easily. But with beginners, what I notice is that they work a lot slower. So when you work slowly, you're giving more time for your paper to dry, which causes a lot of those streaks. So I usually like to wet up my paper, but if you first, to get a nicer even blend, everything stays wet a lot longer. But my biggest tips for blending, for what I just did, where you're getting that nice seamless gradient, you want to use really light pressure. Like, I'm literally just guiding my brush very lightly across my paper. I'm swiping it across the paper. I'm not, this is what happens if I use pressure. It lifts color and it just moves it in a streaky way. Really, really light pressure. Okay. Like so light. Wash off your brush. Biggest part, dab it on your paper towel. Then go back, really light pressure again, and move it on down. Now you see how there's I don't know if you can see that. There's a little line here. It's because I left it to dry too long. I can just try and go over it a bit more and bring it down. What happens when you wash off your brush and you don't tap it on your paper towel, you go back in. Now there is more water right here. And this part is drying. So now, I don't know if you can see that. There is that bloom happening, that separation, that line. Always tap your brush on your paper towel so you're not going in with more water than there already is on the page. Now, this isn't lost. I can fix it. I'm just going to go back over this really wet part, really light pressure, and just start to blend it upwards. The key is that you want to have your water distributed evenly across the page. That's it. You can probably fix it. If I keep doing this over and over and over again, I'm going to overwork my painting. And people are were asking, what does that mean? If you keep painting over the same area over and over again, more water, more pigment, it's going to start to pill. Like, your paper almost starts to look like there's a texture to it. You're going to start to get maybe some, what's it called? Like, not stripes, but just like more lines, more uneven pigments. You've overworked your painting. Okay. Sometimes it's best to just do it once and then leave it. Okay. The more you go back, like, see, the more I keep trying to do this gradient, the more I'm overworking it and the worse it's looking. Okay. Question. How do you add shading onto dried florals without making hard lines? Okay, that's a good question. Okay, let's do it over here. I think I did it over here before. So how do you add shading to dried florals? So this is all dry. Maybe this isn't dark enough. Okay, I'm going to turn my paper to the side because I feel like it's easier. Now, there are two ways to do this. One I feel is a bit more helpful for beginners, just because of water control and everything. What I would do is take clean water. Once it's completely dried, it has to be completely dry. You're going to go back over the whole thing. Okay, with clean water. Then you go back in with your color, whatever darker color that you wanted to add for shading, and you add it to the bottom of where you want it the darkest, and you're going to slowly kind of move it up like a gradient. Now, we don't want all this dark pigment at the top, so you can wash your brush off, dry it on your paper towel, and light pressure, just start to move it upwards. Now, the reason why you might get that line, that harsh line, is because you didn't wet up the whole area. Wash, dry off my brush. You didn't wet up the whole area. So the other way to do it would be to grab your dark color. It's completely dry, not wet it up first. And then, kind of like we did here with the gradient, you add your dark color, wash off your brush, dry it, go right back to the edge there, and then continue to move it up. Now, if I stop here, once this dries, you're going to see a line across here because the paint wants to move as far as water goes. And if I only stop blending up to here, it's going to bleed right up to that water line and it's going to be a harsh line. You want to wet up the whole area. So you want to go back in. So we went back in and you're going to want to wet up the whole area. Wash dry off your brush. And make sure this whole thing is wet. So when it does gradually move in the direction, it's going to go upwards to where there's water. Does that make sense? Okay. I find it's the easiest to wet up the whole thing first, just because, I don't know, this can take a little bit more time. And if you're on the slower side, you'll tend to get more lines. Okay. Can you recommend a really nice lavender color or how to mix one from primaries? Lavender, you need white, ultramarine. You mix ultramarine, tiny bit of purple, but if you don't have purple, then just grab a tiny bit of pink. A little bit more, maybe a little bit more blue. And then white, which there's a white in here, but I don't really use it. Like that. And then, or you can just lighten it up with water. Like that. Question, where can we buy your brushes in Canada? From craftimo.com, they ship worldwide. Okay, there was another question up there. I don't want to miss them. Emma, question. Do you have a list of your favorite recommended sketchbooks, paints, brushes listed on your website or YouTube channel? They typically tend to be in the description of my video, but my husband is currently working on my website, and I will have all of my favorite supplies there. Hopefully that will be done soon. What if you don't, wait, if you don't have white, then just use water. Okay, to lighten up a color. So here's my ultramarine, tiny bit of pink, lighten it up, like just add water. And this is the same thing. This is with white, this is without. You just need to do a very, very light wash to make it lighter. Okay. Wetting the whole image makes perfect sense. Yes. If you don't have white watercolor, then you can't mix lavender. I mean, you can just lighten it up with water, but yeah, to get a nice, like kind of like opaque pastel-y color, you can add white. How would you mix a tan or beige color? I would say yellow, like a yellow ochre, and brown, and then just water. Or add white. I do have a whole playlist as well on color mixing, which helps too. Question, how to avoid harsh edges when lifting the excess water? So like this, I think you mean. So like this one, how there's like a darker edge. Unfortunately, that's just what happens when you have a lot of water, or you started off with a lot of water, because what water does is it pushes it, right? It pushes the color, it repels color. So when you have a lot of water here, it pushes it to the edge of where the water stops. So if you go back in, so let's do our little too much water thing here. Okay, we're like, oh no, we have too much water. Hold on, let's grab more color. We have too much water, and I say mop it up. Look at my flowers. Yes, these are flowers. And it's just too much water, and I say mop it up. If this is too time consuming and you're worried about that hard edge, take your whole paper towel, lift it up, add a little bit of water to your brush, and just try again. You just got to kind of get it in time. But I don't think the harsh edges are really that big of a deal. I'm just trying to kind of blend out and just get it as soft as I can. See, so I added a little bit more color to the center here, and they're a bit of a pool, which might make it dry funky. So just tap it on your paper towel and just kind of move it around. Okay, but yeah, just get it in time, I think. Just lift it as you can. Harsh edges, I feel like they're not that bad. Like, if it's really too much, you just gotta mop up your water in time, I think. But I think the whole thing with that, especially like when you're doing a lot of wet on wet or stuff like that, it's just you gotta move quickly. And that just comes with time. It's like you starting your car and driving. Like, you're not even really think like, I'm going to put in the key now. Now I'm making sure that it's in reverse. Like, you just do it. You're on autopilot, and give yourself enough time, and this will be the same way. Okay. You just got to make it part of your routine and keep going. Sometimes the edges could be part of the look. Yeah. Like when we did our transparent florals, if you have that harder edge, it kind of looks nice. So I like that. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. Another question. Oh, you know what? Hold on. That's okay if it bleeds into there. Okay. What is the best brand of watercolors? I know this is a hard question. The thing is, there's not one single best brand. There are tons of professional brands that are all equally amazing. It just depends what you have access to and what colors you like. I love my Shinhan paints, which I've been painting with for a while because I was given them because I'm working with them with Craftimo, and I just absolutely love them. I love Winsor & Newton. I love Daniel Smith, but Daniel Smith is a bit too expensive, so I don't really splurge on those a whole lot. Like, I don't have a whole set. But if they're professional, then they typically tend to be good. This is probably my favorite. The Mei Liang is my favorite student grade palette. I absolutely love it. The pigments are amazing. It's so nice. Light Wish is really nice too. Thanks, Sketches. You're awesome. If you haven't checked out Sketches and Scrubs, you should go and check out her YouTube channel. She's amazing. Her paintings are so vibrant and gorgeous. Like, I'm always looking at your stuff going, how do you do that? It's so beautiful. Do you have any suggestions for a brush to use for lettering, round or flat edge? For lettering, I would use a small round brush. Even if you can, something on the longer side, like not a rigger, but not too short. Like maybe a size 1 round. What is the difference between a sketchbook and a watercolor pad? A sketchbook is like this, where it's bound like a book, right? And then a pad is like this, where it's like a flimsy, sorry, this is huge, a flimsy cover like this. And then this is a block, actually. So they're all glued on the sides, the paper, and it keeps it flat while you're painting. And then when you're done and it's dry, there's like a little opening at the top. And then you just like shove a palette knife, or I even use a ruler, and then it just separates it from the block, and it keeps your paintings flat. Hold on. Just want to make sure. How much water when drawing thin stems? It's not necessarily about water. It's about how small your brush is and how light your pressure is. You want to make sure that you have a really small brush if you're trying to do really thin stems, or just really light pressure. So I'm trying to find, like, where are all my brushes? So if I'm doing a thin stem, depends on how long you want to have it going too. Why is this brush? So like if you're doing a thin stem, you just need to, like, you can have a ton of water. You just need really light pressure. Which, if I'm doing really thin lines, I have a vertical hold. So I don't hold it on an angle, because if I do an angle, it's going to be naturally thicker. You want just the tip to be touching. So I do a vertical hold and just skim the top. Okay. Okay. I did that already. Just making sure I'm like answering questions. I have not used Rockwell paint at all. I can't remember if I reached out to them or they reached out to me, but it never went anywhere. But I'd love to try them. Yeah, the Mei Liang paints have been great. How can you save a watercolor painting just as we use varnish for acrylic paint? There is this stuff called Dorland's Wax Medium. And I think I have a video on this too. I think Sarah Cray does as well. It's like a wax medium. Once your paintings are fully dry, you can take a paper towel and then just take a little bit here and you just rub it in circles on your painting once it's done, and you let it dry for a day or two, and it completely preserves it and protects it and makes it waterproof. Dorland's Wax Medium. Okay, you can get that at most art stores. When is it best to darken with the opposite color wheel? Hold on. When is it best to darken with the opposite color wheel tip? Or using a darker color to paint? Which method is best? Not sure what you mean, Dusty. When is it best to darken? Like when you're trying to create shadows? I'm not sure. Too many comments. I'm trying to keep up. I love painting florals too. I'm glad the 31 days is up. I did it all. So glad. I haven't used the Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolor. I mean, I have the granulating set, which I like, but I haven't used like their big sets. But I think they're good too. I found that brush sizes are not consistent. Yes. Amongst different companies, yeah. Emma, can you do a video on how to scan your paints and then make copies? I have a scanner, but it's finicky and it doesn't always work. So I'm not always the best for that. I feel like there would probably be a better YouTube video somewhere else than mine. Question, how do you care for your brushes? How do I care for my brushes? Literally, I rinse them in water. And then I'll like roll them on my paper towel or shape them to a point with my fingers. And then I let them dry on my paper towel like that. And that is all I do. You can be rough on your brushes. Like if you're doing like some sort of like texture like this, you can like stamp them, make texture. Just when you're done, rinse it thoroughly. You don't have to use a soap or anything. I like to roll it on my paper towel and leave it to dry on my paper towel. You can hang them upside down, suspend them somehow, which helps drain any water out. But honestly, I just leave them like this. The only thing I would say with this is make sure when you do put it on your paper towel, the tip is not accidentally like touching your water jar or something, because if it dries with the tip bent, it will stay like that. But that's honestly all I do. I don't do too much. I just realized I haven't been using a vertical hold for my stems. I thought my issue with them was the water and pressure. No, vertical hold will just help just get the tip touching. Because naturally, when you put it to the side, more of the brush, the bristles will be touching, so it makes it thicker. I use Schminke because it's most common here in Germany. Yes, see, like some brands are just more common other places. Schminke is like so expensive here and hard for me to get, so I wouldn't necessarily buy it. But they're great paints as well, I've heard. Do you seal your paintings? I don't. I never seal my paintings unless it's like a postcard and I'm like mailing it out. But honestly, I haven't really sealed my paintings. But I know a lot of other people do. I like Sarah Cray. I think she does some in her journal so they don't stick together and like to preserve some. But I really don't, to be honest. Have you tried canvas boards? No. Do you have suggestions for continuing a frequent or daily practice? Not necessarily. Like, see, I just painted when I wanted to, which was daily, but there's not like a specific techniques that I worked on every day. It was just like I would just see something and want to paint it. Just give yourself at least 5 minutes a day to paint something. Emma, you should try the Kirtaki paints. They're a blend of gouache and regular watercolor. Ooh, okay. Will the Watercolor Month Facebook still be up after this month? Yes, it will be. If you want to continue adding to the Facebook group, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, in the description, I think, is still there? It might not be there. And I'll put it there. There is a Facebook group of the World Watercolor Month. Let me see. Do I have it here? Join the Facebook group. I'll put it in the description. I'll also put it in the comments right here if you are interested. You can always post there forever. I'm not taking the group down, so enjoy. Is it better to highlight with opposite color wheel techniques to use a darker color in your... Oh, I'm trying to understand the difference between both methods. Oh, better to highlight... So like, is it better to mix a darker color or use a darker color in your paint palette? Either way, it's whatever look you like. There's no right or wrong way, to be honest. Let me add the Facebook group in the description. Paste. Save. Okay, there we go. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. Thank you. A lot of people asked if I was tired from this month, but I actually filmed all of that like a month ago. So I've actually been taking some time off this month, except for like the lives and like joining the recordings. Let me see if there was any other questions. Watercolor struggles to address. Oh, someone was asking about bent leaves. Like I said, I do have a tutorial on that. It might be too hard to explain right now, but you could always do your pressure stroke, like light pressure, heavy pressure, keep going, and then bend it, and then start to lift like that. And then when you let it dry, you can go back in with some shading to make it look like you're seeing the underneath and stuff like that. You can even, I can show you that after. But I do have a tutorial on it. Amy is a great cheerleader. No worries, Dusty. I feel like I'm barely here. My head is just like, I'm so tired. My little one was up at 6 a.m. and I'm just so tired. Oh. When would you choose a complementary color versus just adding a darker value to darken? It depends. It depends what colors you have in your palette. Honestly, like, you can try both. It's just whatever look you want. It's not really like a set thing, like this is what you should do. Do you ever sketch with pencil and then fill in with paint, or are your paintings always loose? I do both, and I have both tutorials, like types of tutorials on my channel, where I've done florals. Where's my... So, 2 tutorials that are coming up in August are the birth month flowers. So we have July and August, and these were both done with pencil sketches and then painted in. So typically more detailed paintings that I do, I'll pencil sketch first and then I'll paint in. But if I'm doing more, loose florals, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it either. I might just paint. This is such a random sketchbook. Yeah. Trying to make sure I'm not missing too much. Sometimes when I get too frustrated with my yucky florals and leaves, I do something simple like swatching to get my confidence up. 100% Joanne. I do the same thing too. Honestly, or a color wheel. Make a color wheel or something like that. Just mix colors. Have fun that way. Can you make a tutorial for painting scenes, please? Like landscapes, I have tons on my channel. How long should a tip of a round brush last? Is that what deteriorates first normally? Yes, I would say so. It depends on how often you use it. I've had brushes that have lasted and some that haven't. Depends also how long or how well you take care of them. Like, this is my size 2 round. I can tell this is old. This is an old one, but like the tip is not really pointy anymore. Did I cut this? No, it's like more blunt. It depends. It depends on how well you take care of it. Like, honestly, like I said before, if you roll it on your paper towel, once you're done using it, shape it with your fingers and let it dry, you're extending the life of it. It's just also how you take care of it, but they're not meant to last forever, to be honest. I just bought Daniel Smith 2 of what I thought was watercolor, used it as watercolor, realized it's gouache, but it's hard to tell the difference. Yeah, gouache and watercolor are both water soluble, so they're very similar, right? Do you support your wrist on the table at all times when painting? It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing like a really like light stroke, not really. Like I have my arm anchored down, like what is going on with my hair? I have my elbow, like there's some like my hands never just like this, or else it would be so shaky. So I always have my elbow or like right here. And then, or even if I am doing a vertical hold, I might have like the bottom of my wrist here just for a bit more. Yeah, this brush is getting old too. Just to have a little bit more, what's it called? Control. But if I'm doing like a thicker stroke, I do have like this kind of, it's not even my wrist, it's my whole hand giving me support. All your watercolor month tutorials will be available for replay. Yes, forever, forever. Did you say you have your own brushes for sale? Yes, these are my brushes that I made with Craftimo. I have a bunch of different ones. They are at craftimo.com. It should be in the description as well. And they ship worldwide. Favorite Daniel Smith color? I love, what's it called? Cascade green right now is so pretty. Do I have some left over? I have like the tiny, I still haven't like put it in a pan in my, well, one, I don't have enough space in this one anymore, but this color, I just love the granulation of it. It's like green, but the lighter parts are like blue. You'll see once it kind of dries. It's really pretty. Question. Can you buy foliage brushes? I've tried several times to make one and they didn't work. I don't want to waste more brushes. I don't know. They're not like specific foliage brushes, but I mean, how have they not worked? Because they should just be like a foliage brush is just like a cut up brush that's uneven and choppy. Like it's not like a specific, it's just uneven and choppy. So they should work. I learned the hard way, but my brushes come in stiff. They need to be softened if natural. Yes, so every time you get a new brush, they have a glue on them to keep the bristles all together for transportation. You just need to rinse them with water, like thoroughly, and then you can start painting. Your brushes are awesome. Thank you. How can we paint rocks and mountains? I might have tutorial on that. I don't think I can go through a whole tutorial right now, but maybe I'll keep that in mind for a future one as well. I don't see the Facebook group. Did I put it here? Here it is again. The link if you'd like it. Oh, with the foliage brush, I couldn't get the long tip in the middle. You don't need the long tip, to be honest. Or just cut around the edges. I don't know. Any tutorials on florals and leaves naturally emerging? Mine usually look awkward. Is this a drill thing? Yeah. It's like, honestly, just practicing over and over and over again the strokes, and you'll get better. Yeah, look how this is drying. It's so pretty. It's like a light bluish green. Come on, focus. See that? It's so pretty. So pretty. Do you have a video on different leaf shapes? Yep. Look up Emma Lefebvre leaves and all my videos will come up. Thank you. I see in the chat. Perfect. Do people cover their brush bristles for storage, like plastic tubes? They come in sometimes. I don't. Honestly, all my brushes sit on my desk like this. And then I have tons, I don't know if you can see back there. They're all uncovered. Probably getting a little dusty, but I don't think it ruins them. I have an easel to paint as my back hurts if I look down for a while. Any tips to avoid the washes from running down? So that's one thing that's hard. If you paint, because watercolor is such a water-based medium, if you're painting on an angle, it's just naturally going to run down. There's not too much you can do about that except use less water, but if you need to do a light wash of something, I'm not sure. Are you planning on offering a Christmas box this year? Not a different one, no. I don't know if they're still gonna sell the ones from last year, like the leftover stock, but not a new one. How do you mix a green? I honestly, the green I use mostly for leaves, I just have an olive green color, like paint that I love. Question, did you have a final prompt for the last day? I want you to pick, and I don't have a prompt, pick whatever day you like the best and try to maybe, or even pick maybe 2 of the days that you like the best and put them together or create some sort of composition with your favorite techniques that you've learned. That's my prompt. I'm very new. What is the Christmas box? I had a 12 days of Christmas advent calendar with Craftimo that came out last year, so they might sell it again. I think it's still on the website, craftimo.com, and I think it's still available. What do you recommend for floral examples? I have no idea what leaf goes with what flower. Dusty, you can just look up like bouquet inspiration. Like I look up on Google or that, I'll just like look up a bouquet and I'll see the kind of leaf shapes that are there and then kind of base it off of that. But yeah, honestly, I think that's about it for the challenge. I hope I answered as much of your questions as possible. I will plan on going live again in August at some point, and I'll give you guys a heads up with a post. And yeah, it's been honestly so much fun doing this with you guys. I am so happy that we had such a positive, experience with the whole month. Like, everyone was so kind and so much fun. Like, I don't know, it was a really great eye-opening challenge that I think we're gonna have to do every year in July for World Watercolor Month. I'm just gonna have to be very creative on how we're gonna go about this with different subjects, but still kind of similar techniques. If you guys have any more suggestions on what you'd like to see on my channel, you can comment in this video. The only thing with commenting on YouTube videos is that I have thousands of videos, so it's just really hard to kind of keep going back and keeping up with the comments. I don't get notified of every new comment. So if you'd like to reach out to me, honestly, Facebook is not the greatest, like, messenger over there. I have too many messages between Patreon and Instagram and stuff like that. So if you'd like to, you can become a patron, email or message me there, or Instagram is free. I always answer on Instagram as well. And I will try my best to answer any questions. Or if you just watch one of my newest videos, I usually check the comments the first couple days after. So just let me know if you guys have any recommendations or suggestions. Just want to make sure everything's good. I want to thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for sharing your work. Honestly, you guys are doing so well. I'm also having trouble understanding flower angles. I have a video of that. I have a video for that. Just look up Lefebvre floral perspective. There's a video for that. Seriously, look up all the keywords on YouTube. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for participating. Honestly, this has been so much fun. I am so grateful for every single one of you, for sharing your work, for liking my videos, for just watching. Your support and watching my channel over the past month has made such a huge impact on my channel, and I really, really appreciate it. And I think that's about it. Oh my gosh, Terry, no, you don't have to do that. Thank you so much. Really, thank you, thank you. I'd rather you become patrons and just spend your money there so you get more content out of it, honestly. Emma has 1,100 videos. I do. Lots of videos. Thank you again, guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I have a whole lineup of videos coming August. There's a lot of tutorial reviews, not tutorial reviews, product reviews, new things I'm going to be using. And yeah, and I think my husband and I were talking last night that we might have to do a similar kind of, not World Watercolor Month, but maybe a 24-day December advent calendar video thing. So for like 24 days of December, we'll do like painting tutorials similar to this, because this was great. So, but you need coffee. I do need coffee money. No, I need studio money, guys. That's where all this is going. And to put a roof over our head and, you know, food in our bellies. Matt, do you want to come upstairs with the kids for a second so they can say hi? I don't know if you're watching still. They love saying hi. Hold on. Oh, Matt, bring the kids up for a second so they can say hi. I'm calling you. And bye. Do you want to bring up the kids for a second?
Guys, go upstairs. Mom wants to talk to you, and everybody wants to talk to you on camera. Go upstairs. Go. Now, go. Get upstairs.
Okay, bye. Okay, the kids are going to come up and say hello, because they're cuckoos. I can hear them trying to be quiet downstairs, but they're not. Who's that? I hear baby feet. I'm coming.
Mommy.
Come here. Hiya. Hiya. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hiya, daddies. Oh, can you show us hold on. The shading on the bent leaf really quick? Yeah, so I would just...
On the paint.
I have a better... Okay, you can paint in 1 second. So, it's hard to explain right now. Yeah. You have to go to the bathroom? Go.
I want to go that.
Okay, shh. I would just darken the underside. I have a video. It's kind of too hard to explain right this
I
second.
want to have a paint.
Yeah, no, I can't do it right now.
I want to have that.
You want to... Okay, you want to paint? Okay, 1 second. Full face.
I'm gonna bring the water.
Oh,
You want to put it in the water?
okay, here you go. Here's your colors. He's gonna paint. What color are you gonna use? You want red? Here, your favorite color is right here. Say, can you guys say thanks for joining my mom, everybody?
Thanks for joining my mom. Thanks for never joining my mom. Always go to my YouTube channel. Oh no!
They said, hey Noah, hey Miles, hey Matt.
Hi. Okay, go on.
Oh,
Hey!
beautiful. You want to show everybody your painting?
Ooh.
Wow, look at those red lines.
Wow.
Wow.
Tell them
Actually, I kind of look
what's your favorite color?
pink.
Oh, you like pink too?
It's not gonna happen, Missy.
What?
Pink.
You need a baby girl? No.
Not gonna happen.
I like my boys. They're good. We've got
I
it.
use them pink
Yep, pink.
because that's my
Oh my
mommy's
goodness.
color.
Hey.
That's mommy's favorite color. How was the
pulling
birthday
your
cake? The
hair.
birthday
Like
cake was
this.
amazing.
There.
One like
Yeah.
this.
Okay, can you
Like this.
explain to everyone what you're doing?
Hi. I'm painting a leg of the queen and the Ninja Turtle too.
Oh my goodness.
I'd like it a queen and a Ninja Turtle too. Oh, Miles was telling me about how when we go on the cruise,
Yeah.
he's gonna find me. No, he brought this up randomly
Teddy
himself.
bear.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, Miles?
I'm bring you a little baby. I'm bring you a teddy bear.
You're gonna bring me a teddy bear
That's so nice.
when I'm a baby.
Yeah. I have 3 sons.
Yep, someone has 3 sons. Someone said they had 5 sons. Oh, there's Nana. Lynn.
Hello.
Hi, Nana.
Hi, Nana.
Hi, Nana.
Okay.
Hi, Nana.
I love you. I'm going downstairs for a second.
Okay.
A Ninja Turtle.
Miles?
It's tutorial next. Actually,
No. Yes. Yes. Hey, where's Green? I'll teach you how to
Where's
draw
Green?
him.
Green
I will teach
is-
you how to draw him.
Hi, Noah, stop screaming.
Like a Ninja Turtle.
This is the green like the Ninja Turtle. Actually, I have a video that's coming out in August
Ninja Turtle.
that Miles and I did together. Remember? What did we paint for your room?
A regular pink and Mac.
Yeah, not Mac. We painted Lightning McQueen, Tomater, and
Lynn,
Cruz.
you are here.
Yeah, that's Nana. Nana's here.
Huh?
Yeah, so we painted that for his room, and we did.
I'm gonna do this for you.
Yeah, you can do that. Oh, you're mixing all my colors, eh?
The matte paint?
Does Matt paint? He took over my channel
Yeah. Yeah.
when I was in France, which he's
Hi,
gonna do
Amy.
again.
Who was Noah's favorite Ninja Turtle? Leonardo.
And who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
The
Leonardo.
red Ninja Turtle.
What's his name?
I have a katana in my room. I can go get it. Mommy,
No.
I don't have that colors.
Do you want these colors?
Okay, say yes if he's cute. Say yes if he's cute.
Look at your
What
beautiful
if anyone's
painting.
Ooh. What if
Kids should have all the art stuff. It's so important. Oh, my kids have more than enough art stuff.
Someone please
You like the dollar store ones the best? Okay.
Yeah.
You need to add water though.
How adorable. Thank you.
Okay, stop yelling.
Matt painted. My cat touched it.
Did you touch what?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one's dry. You can touch it.
Mama, people are listening to me.
They are. Matt painted an episode.
Everyone say yes, she's so cute.
Oh my god. Yeah, Matt painted this.
Thank you.
He did a tutorial when I was in France.
Please don't leave me again.
Come on.
I can't touch it. Noah is living his best life right now.
Noah's living his best life right now.
Oh my god, Daddy's commenting now. Daddy's commenting.
Can you stop yelling in my ears?
No, he's not.
You are. You're screaming.
He's not.
Are you just touching all the paints?
I
Yeah.
like this one.
Amy said my favorite Ninja Turtle is Michelangelo.
Nice guy.
He's going to be a YouTube artist soon. Yeah. Yeah, you have to see the...
I like the red guy.
You like the wet guy.
I like
Yes, we
both
are,
red guys.
You like both
I
red?
like this.
That's white paint that you're not allowed to use. That's mommy's paint.
Okay, is everyone saying I can read very well? What's
Yes.
this? Okay, comment yes if you think
No,
that.
stop. He wants to be a YouTuber.
what's this?
Yes, he can read very well. He's a very good
What's
reader.
this?
That's my mic. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Do you want to tell? Oh, show everyone your shirt. What's on your shirt?
so much energy. Dad. Oh my god, I can hear my dad laughing downstairs. I can hear Daddy laughing downstairs. Daddy.
This is my life. We're going to be on vacation for the next week together. So yeah. No, they said, how old are you?
7. 7.
Yep.
Yeah, Miles loves your
He loves it.
one.
What's what one? Oh, that's a sharpener. But we can't use that.
Guys, I have something to show you something.
Thanks so much for everything. Come on. They made me smile. Good.
Guys, I love Leonardo so much. I literally have something that came.
He loves being on YouTube.
I'm not seeing it.
No, this is pencil sharp. Oh! Pencil shavings everywhere. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. You're so lucky that I don't mind mess in my office. Because the mess that we create together is bananas. Say it's bananas.
It's bananas.
It's bananas.
I love Leonardo so much. I already have his katana. I want to have it. And see my look.
I could have had girls.
Ninja Turtle.
Instead, I
Yes. Fight.
Okay, no, not on YouTube. Okay, now we're gonna. Can you put these away? Okay, now we're gonna say bye to everyone, and thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for that.
Someone said, I heard you had cheesecake for your birthday. Noah, what flavor? What's your favorite?
Oreo.
Oreo cheesecake. They have a really good
My favorite is chocolate.
chocolate. They have a really good place by us called the Watering Can, and they have amazing cheesecake.
Yeah.
Are you done? Can you say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Can you blow kisses?
I want to keep talking to people.
I know you do. You're like Daddy. You love just chatting. Okay, are you going downstairs, Mai? Okay.
Oh wait.
No. Okay.
Oh no, I gotta talk.
Miles, don't jump on the bed. Okay, we're gonna get going. They're all saying bye. Thank you all so much for watching the chaos and enjoying this challenge again. You guys are also appreciated by me and my family. So thank you guys so much. And we will see you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.